A few weeks ago, Seo Jong, or you can say the Mama Guy, was a famous TikToker with 55 million followers and the fourth spot in Forbes 30 under 30 Asia. Now he is convicted felon, exposed for some of the most gruesome crimes. How did this terrible person hide behind a relatable internet character? Do more TikTokers use this platform as a way to hide their true personality? This is the terrifying case of Mama Guy. Have you ever heard the word Mama? This was Mama Guy's trademark. He would test various trends on TikTok, and if they were true, he would yell out Mama in his go-to baby-like voice. But his relatable, playful personality was so far away from what he was actually doing when the cameras were rolling. Seo Won-juk was born on November 19, 1996 and made his TikTok debut in 2020. By the time he was 27, he was featured in the Forbes magazine 30 under 30. In 2023, he was making serious revenue from TikTok as he had amassed a shocking 55 million followers. He was Korea's most followed non-celebrity TikTok content creator. He posted every single day, keeping his fans happy and ensuring he kept his fan base growing. He had almost zero negative comments. His simply funny, friendly looking videos had nothing heavy to them. Nothing that could have people thinking, hey, this guy could be nasty. So when Mama Guy altogether disappeared from the internet, people were worried. His last video was dated July 22, 2023, and there was full radio silence afterward. Perhaps something happened to him, his fans thought, as they were looking for answers. But in December 2023, a heartbreaking piece of the news broke out. Seo Won-juk was not the victim, but the perpetrator of a terrible crime. In news all across South Korea, Mama Guy was identified as influencer A. In the reports, it was said that influencer A and another man had been arrested for SA, that is, the sexual assault, against a woman known only as Woman B, according to SBS Influencer. Influencer A and one other man was arrested for sexually assaulting a woman. The incident allegedly transpired after a social gathering where they had drinks with the woman B. Subsequently, they took her to the other man's residence and allegedly assaulted her while she was unconscious. Woman B reported the incident to the police, citing that she heard recording noises when she woke up after having fallen asleep and realized she got sexually assaulted by both men. Things got even more dramatic, according to the authorities' report. Mama Guy refused to open the door when the officers came knocking. Authorities ended up calling the fire department to force the door open. The news report hides Mama Guy's identity, but they did post a blurred photo of him. This was enough for many of his 55 million followers to recognize him. It was official. Mama Guy had been exposed as a monster. On December 15, the Seoul Gangnam police station announced that it would be forwarding Mama Guy's case in the prosecution for essay being an unconscious person. Mama Guy faced up to 7 years behind bars, with so many fans left in shock and disbelief. The online reaction during his arrest was huge. One person commented, why? I mean, why? You destroyed your future and everything. Guys, that's why I am always saying everything on social media is not the true face of people. Guys, seriously, We don't know about behind the story. Now it's time to call Mama. It's not even about destroying his future, it's about him destroying someone else's life. It's about destroying his future. Sexual assault is one of the most horrible things that can happen to a person. Most victims of sexual assault never recover emotionally. They feel used, abused, hurt, and betrayed in the worst ways imaginable. Sometimes they feel tremendous shame and find it hard to talk about it, even with their closest people. And yet, the perpetrator rarely feels shame. That's the rough irony. Mama Guy left millions of people disappointed. The fans themselves felt betrayed by a person who acted as this person. It takes a special kind of person to hide behind such a positive fact. It feels when that's what you are really like. Some people treated it with a bit of humor. I stopped trusting the cute ones. Others simply said how shocked they were to find out he wasn't who he said he was. I still can't believe it. I am shocked I can't believe it. Other people's love for Mama's Guy hasn't changed since the shocking news hit their screens. They argue that 7 years is too much for their favorite influencer. And some even say it's too much. Some even say that don't believe the allegations are true. This is the dark side of the fame. Influencers, as says their name, have a lot of influence over their followers. Some are willing to turn a blind eye to horrific stories just so they can keep loving their favorite TikToker. It's truly heartbreaking when a victim such as woman B gets ignored or even accused of lying just because people prefer to believe their side of story. The poor woman went through the hell, then had a hospital confirm her sexual assault victim. And the authorities tracked down and arrested the perpetrators. One of them was famous, the other one wasn't. Surprisingly, only the famous one is getting defended by some of his fans. When 7 years is too much, poor Mama Boy. On X, the attitudes are just as varied. Mama Boy, how could you? He can assault someone. Sexual assault? On who? I guess on one of the PTS members. Someone was quick to pinpoint a major issue as soon as the news of Mama Boy arrest broke out, waiting for the teenage girls to start talking that he should be free because he is sexy. Sounds about right. Now it might not be just teenage girls who would find excuses for young, good-looking TikTokers. Throughout the true crime history, there have been killers, male or female, who use their charm and good looks to get a lesser punishment. Others were criticized for being let off the hook precisely because of this. When Brooks' killer Richardson was arrested, the whole country was in shock. She had a baby in secret, delivered her in her family's bathroom, then took her life and buried in their backward. She was nothing but a regular person, but a white woman. She was a grandmother, but she was born and brought up in the same backward. I had the baby and I didn't. I. She lived in the same house she moved in. She managed to get her first child at the age of 35. She is always the ideal daughter of her children. She was a great kid and she was that world famous. I was in my bathroom. It just came out when I pushed and it wasn't breathing. She had super committed to her childhood, but she was also very distant and her family was also different. She was very sensitive and was very good. She claimed the baby was stillborn and there was nothing she could do. She was also very light and strong. For example, when she was telling us that she wanted her kids to study and play, it was I put her in my arms, I drank her water, and she's breathing. She is out of heartbeat. She is not breathing. Very hard for us to tell her. How did you? How did you? I know the breathing part you can kind of tell. Did you ever? Did you ever hear a cry? She was so embarrassed of becoming a teen mom that she preferred this way out. In the courtroom, Skylar loved once heard how her baby's remains were covered in burns. She had tried to light it on fire before burying it in a shallow grave. It was the stuff of nightmares, and yes, Skylar's verdict was as follows. Many people commented that had she not been pretty, or even more heartbreakingly, had she not been white, her case would have gone very different. In Mama's Guy case, we already have the device comments and the TikTok followers who want their idol out. It seems easier to stick to what you know than accept the new horrible reality. But at this point, Mama's Guy followers have no influence over his case. Seo Wan Song has since claimed that the intercourse was consensual and that the charges for the illegal filming have been dropped due to the lack of evidence on his phone. However, if the detectives wanted to, they could retrieve deleted videos from any phone and the charges could be brought again if